Hello, everyone. My name is Lindsay McGuire. I'm the Associate Director of Content and Campaigns at Goldcast. We're an AI powered video campaign platform that allows you to take your source video content like podcasts, webinars, virtual events, and fuel your entire content strategy with them. And I am here to tell you how to get a 35% conversion rate on event invites with video. So let's get started. First, let's talk about some stats. Everyone loves stats. 17,000 LinkedIn post impressions is what we got from one single LinkedIn post using a video using this strategy. And now I bet you can get 5 times and maybe even 10 times the impressions by using this playbook because now LinkedIn is favoring video even more than when I did this play just a few months ago. LinkedIn has really leaned into video now. And so it is the perfect time to start investing in a video strategy to use alongside getting people to convert on whatever that conversion point is. Now, in this example, we are going to be talking about getting people to sign up for an event in an event series. So this instance, it's a virtual event where you have multiple sessions. You're using a video clip from that event to then drive signups to the next event. But you can use this same strategy for any conversion point that you have video content for. Let's say you have a guide or ebook that's gated and you have a video campaign alongside that. You can use that. Or let's say you have a video podcast and you're trying to get people to sign up for a newsletter related to your podcast. You can use this play and get similar results. So next, let's talk about how you get a 35% registration conversion rate with this. Like I said, in this example, we're going to be using a virtual event series, but any conversion point you have, you can use this play and you're going to see a rather high conversion rate because it's fast, it's personalized, and people are going to raise their hands to actually access your content. So again, what is this play? It's using video content that you're already producing to attract attention and send invites over LinkedIn. It's a win-win, right? The goal of this play is to get new registrants for an upcoming event in a series. But again, you can kind of morph this play to align with whatever that conversion point is for you, like a guide or ebook, a newsletter, whatever someone might want to sign up for. If you have video content that aligns with that conversion point, definitely consider investing in this play because you'll be able to reach new audiences, improve your use of video on LinkedIn, and also get people into your content, into your events, whatever it might be. So let's talk about the steps of this play. First is you're going to create your video clip from a recent episode or from the content you're already creating with your videos. Second, you're going to write your posts, and I'm going to give you some LinkedIn templates to use, going to help you get started there. And then the third is you're going to send out invites through LinkedIn messaging, which I'm also going to provide you some templates for. And on the right, you'll see an example of what this play is going to end up looking like. I'm going to give you a recipe how to do all of this. So step one is to create your video clip from a recent episode. But first and foremost, let's talk about some video clip best practices. LinkedIn loves video. It has now unraveled the video tab. It's now putting more emphasis on videos in your feed and that video promotion tab. So now LinkedIn is giving so much more favorability to video. And we also know that people love video. It's the most engaging format to use with your audience. We've seen it time and time again over research and just how people engage with video content. So as you invest more time in video, I wanted to share a few best practices to keep in mind when crafting your clip, especially if you're just getting started in video as a marketing channel. First, always add in the captions. You can use LinkedIn to add the subtitles, but they're pretty bland, boring. They're not that engaging, not that pretty or beautiful. So always add in captions. There are plenty of tools out there, especially free tools you can use to add those captions quickly and easily that are more engaging, more brand, aligned with your brand. One of those is, Goldcast Content Lab, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, but there are plenty out there that you can use. And one interesting stat I found was that Lionbridge Research found that 92% of LinkedIn users keep their videos on mute. So that's why captions are so important. Next, try to use vertical as much as possible. In my examples, you're actually going to see that they're landscape videos. And that's because I did this example before the video tab was out of beta, before LinkedIn was favoring those vertical videos so heavily. But now LinkedIn is all about those vertical videos. So as much as you can, crop those videos to vertical, and that will heighten your opportunity, your chance of being featured in that video feed. Next, align your video to your brand for resonance and better recall. So some things to think about are adding in your brand colors to the template, putting in your logo, adding in an intro or outro, things like that. So when people see that video, they're going to be able to align it with your brand, especially if you're highlighting a speaker that is not from your own company. And then last, keep the clip short. Watch length impacts your reach on LinkedIn, so don't push the length too long. We all know those attention spans are short. So, what clip works best for this kind of play? From our research and our testing, we have found clips that are controversial, surprising, or myth busting do really well on LinkedIn. They really stop that scroll and grab attention. Some other areas to consider are things that go against the status quo, statements that are research based or bring in statistics or facts, and then also things that are results driven. Like I started this whole entire presentation with some statistics around what you can expect from this playbook. So, those are all things that you should be thinking about when trying to isolate the best clip from your source content to use in this play. So let's say you are running an event series and you are trying to find out the best clip to use. Well, if you're actually at that event, if you're watching it as part of your process, one pro tip is that while you're in that event, note moments when that chat was on fire. That is a big indicator that the audience was super engaged with whatever the speaker just shared. So take note of maybe a catchphrase or a key term that was said in that moment. So then you can easily isolate that clip once the event is done, because no one wants to spend the time to rewatch that content post event, right? There's likely 30, 45 minutes plus of content to dig through, and nobody has time for that. So I'm going to show you how to easily use that keyword to identify that clip to cut to use in this play. So this is Goldcast Content Lab. I'm going to show you how to use it to identify that clip quickly and easily. Literally, it'll take like 1 minute. So in this example, I had the recording of my event. My keyword is wrong. I type it into my search bar, find it in the video transcript, highlight it, and automatically create my clip. I am not a video editor, have no video editing skills. This is so super easy and quick. You come into your video editor, you can edit it by your transcript. You can also add a template for some pizzazz. You can add it into a different layout like vertical, add captions, and also add a background. Again, think about the ways to integrate that video into your brand. And so let's talk about how to identify your clip if you don't have that keyword in mind, or you don't have that moment from that live event, or let's say it was something that you weren't there during the attendance for. So how you can do that without rewatching involved is, again, using Goldcast Content Lab. So what you can do is you can go into Content Lab and select one of the prompt generators. In this example, I'm going to use the blog post generator, but you can also use the social media generator. The reason why I use the blog post one is I can get more versions out of the content to give me some options when I'm going through and selecting the clip. The social media one will just isolate one clip for you. So what I do is I create this prompt, and there's two versions here. You can make as many versions as you would like. Go into that blog post generator and use this prompt. And what's going to happen is it's going to pull up 3 video clips with copy alongside it from that source video content. No rewatching, no falling through a transcript, no trying to figure out the buzzwords and keywords and hot takes. You can do it all through AI here. So the first prompt I want to share is identify the 3 most controversial points made during the webinar. And pro tip, you need to define what you mean by controversial. It will be different across brands. Some brands are more risk averse, some less. So definitely define what that means to you and your brand. So in this instance, I say, I define controversial as moments where the speaker may say something is a myth, go against common knowledge, or is mentioned as something wrong. And then what will happen, you'll put that into the blog post generator. It'll pull up 3 video clips from that source content, have copy aligned with it, and then you can go to the races with the templates that I'm sharing in the next step. The other version of this prompt I like using is identify the 3 most surprising points made during the webinar. I define surprising as fun facts that are not well known, new data that reveals something against the norm, or is highlighted as something surprising. So let's get into step 2. So now you probably have your video, whether you clipped it yourself or you identified it using AI. Now you need to write your post to share on LinkedIn. So here's the recipe to use. First, use something controversial. You want to stop the scroll. So in those first opening lines of your text, be sure that you bring in myths, hot takes, contrarian opinions, little known facts. Those kind of things work well to get people engaged in reading your content and watching your video. Next is tag the speaker and attendees. Again, if you're using this with an event series play, this is super important. Always tag your speakers in the video. This is going to help you get in front of their audiences. It's going to flag to them you're sharing their content. They're more likely to engage. And then another pro tip here is to add a tag of an attendee or two who were super engaged during the event. So consider people who were really talkative in the chat, if there was any Q&A, if someone asked a lot of questions, or if there was an interactive moment where you were able to bring people from the audience into the content, consider tagging them. What's going to happen is they're likely going to engage with your content. They're going to comment, say how awesome the event was, and provide you social proof to give people more reasons to watch your video, engage with your next piece of content. And last but not least, encourage comments. Ask a question to solicit thoughts on the video. Get people engaged. LinkedIn now is all about engagement in those comments. So be sure that you are making it so super easy for people to engage. One way to do that is you can use a CTA that has the reader drop a certain word or emoji to get an invite to that piece of content you're offering. Keep it short, keep it simple. So let's get into these post templates. First is a should you. So this is taking two opposite options of should you X or Y, and then highlighting your speaker's perspective, which should be one of those options. And the best way to position this is if it's something that people consider as best practice versus something that might not be as much. And then they're saying actually the one that you don't expect is the one to do. When you use that blog post generator in Content Lab, it'll actually be able to identify some of the text here for you. So you can have some speaker quotes involved. You can pull in the most popular core topics or takeaways from the event. And again, close out with that CTA for them to comment to get access. And if it's an event, you can also offer the on-demand recording as well. Always important to highlight 2 or 3 top takeaways so people have extra context around what your event is going to be about. So the next example is a wrong example. So this is the one that aligns with the idea that your speaker said something that's going to surprise people or is not aligned with the best practice or is something new, upcoming, fresh that people just have no idea about. So in this example, you're going to position something that people think is always correct and then actually say it's wrong. Bring in some perspectives from your speaker talking about, why this is wrong, why people think the other way, but why this is actually true. This is a great controversial play to use in these kind of plays. And then you'll see in this example too, I did actually tag one of the event attendees, just getting them also involved in this post, involved in engagement here. They actually did come back and post and talk about the event in the comment. So again, tag your speaker, tag some audience members, highlight some top takeaways, start out with something controversial, eye-catching, engaging, and be sure your clip aligns with all that and close with a CTA. So step 3 is you send out invites through LinkedIn messaging. So you have your video, you have your post, now you're putting it out into the wild and you're watching your engagement hopefully start to go up and up and up. So it should look like this. It should be working. You should be seeing people commenting, I would like to attend the next event. I'd like an invite. Oh, yes, please send me over the content. Or if you use the CTA with the emoji drop, you'll see people dropping that emoji, whether a hand or an email sign or a checkbox, whatever you want to use. You should have people start to engage with your content. So now time is of the essence here. You need to reply to each comment quickly. This will keep you top of mind with your commenters, especially if they're net new people who might not know you, might not have a relationship with you. You really want to capitalize on that opportunity. And this also helps continue to build the impressions of your post. Like I said, LinkedIn loves that comment engagement. So the more comments building on that post, the more it's going to spread out through the algorithm. Next is to connect with every commenter. So this play will get you in front of new audiences. So you want to be sure to connect with them quickly. And if you're like me and you don't have LinkedIn Premium, you can actually do a workaround on this one to ensure that people accept your invites. So in your reply to people who are raising their hand, asking to access your content, you can ask them to send you a request so that you can then send them the invite over Messenger. Works really well, and it helps you protect those limits of 5 messages per month, which is really lame. And then last but not least, send personalized messages. If you have a larger audience on LinkedIn and you're getting maybe hundreds of comments, you'll probably want to use some automation. But if you're manually doing it, take the time to personalize each message just a little bit to make it feel real and authentic. Mention something from their comment, from their profile, their role, their job, their org, just something to make it seem like you took a little time when you were sending out that outreach. So here's some sample copy. Hey, name, glad you found the tip I shared helpful. Add in whatever personalization you would like. Here's an invite to our next event with blank speaker. Use a link. Be sure to have a UTM so you can track the results. And then pro tip here, if they are going to be answering any Q&A, offer to give them priority in the Q&A lineup. So tell them that they're going to be having Q&A live. Love to see you there. If you have any specific questions, send them over to me. I can get them placed in the priority queue when we get to that Q&A time. And what's great about this is it gives that person extra incentive to attend live, but also if for some reason they're not able to be there live, you then have a reason to follow up with them later. You can clip that Q&A section in Content Lab, send it over to them in a follow-up message to continue building that relationship. So let's talk about the results a little bit. So this single LinkedIn post we used with this play resulted in more than 17,000 impressions and 7 reposts. And like I said, you're likely going to see 5 times, 10 times the impressions now with the amount of impressions LinkedIn's giving to video. And it also had 70 original comments, which meant I sent out then 70 event invites for our series. And then from that, we had 25 registrants, which is a 35% conversion rate. So great stats there, great numbers. And to level set, this account we ran this on, which is mine, has just under 5K followers, and I post about 3 times per week. So let's talk about the benefits of this play. First and foremost, you're going to reach new audiences. The combination of using video, tagging people, the controversy, and then whatever hashtags you're putting in almost guarantees you great reach into net new audiences. So you're going to get your brand, your content in front of net new audiences, which is the hardest part of marketing. Yeah. Next is going to be achieving a high conversion rate. So the speed of connection and those personalized invites is going to almost guarantee you a higher conversion rate, especially if you're trying to do some of these things cold. In this instance, people are raising their hands. They want to get access to your content. And last but not least, you're going to build your network. You're going to give yourself a real reason to connect with new people. They engage with your content first. They are saying, yes, please sign me up. Please send the things over to me. It's a great opportunity to build your network, build some great new relationships, and get your brand in front of net new audiences. So if you are interested in more plays around how to use video, events, webinars, podcasts, whatever video content it is in your marketing channels, head over to goldcast.io/playbooks. We have tons of playbooks waiting for you, ready to be used out in the wild across all your marketing channels to ensure that you're getting your brand in front of new audiences, building ROI, and of course, making money and making revenue. And last but not least, if you would like to connect with me about all things videos, events, marketing, I would love to connect on LinkedIn. There is the link to my LinkedIn, and that my name might look a little different. I actually never changed my LinkedIn from my maiden name. So please connect with me there. I'd be happy to chat with you all about how to use video in your marketing channels. Again, Lindsay McGuire from Goldcast. Thank you all for watching.